The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ.
I got him!
So don't get cocky.
This is about what's going to happen.
Welcome to
DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, what is ATM jackpotting, and why are people teabagging their cars, and how much this guy spent on gamer skins? Does that make sense? And another Carnival cruise ship death. All this and much, much more will be discussed here on DeaconLive. For the next 60 minutes or so, we'll get you up to date on viral news and videos that you might have missed over the last several days, or we'll be talking about it here in the upcoming few. How are you? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's all we care about, is that you're getting along with everyone and everyone's getting along with you. Now, we're wrapping up fall, I guess. Are we in fall? I forget what the time change is or the weather changes, because we broadcast. We're just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town called Marshall. It's pretty cool here, but down in Florida, I know it gets, you can have boating season. Boating season is wrapping up. But in Maryland right now, this video is going to go viral, and they're going to find out what happened with this vessel. It had three guys, probably, boyfriend, girlfriend, couple and up and stuff. And a fight broke out. Now, when I say a fight broke out on this boat, this is a real small 19-footer, maybe 19-footer boat. It's got a little outboard on it, and this video was captured in the Maryland Harbor, or wherever in Maryland they got water big enough for a bunch of boats to get in. They got a big skyway bridge that goes over the top of it. And if you want to see this in real time, you can join us over on YouTube. For every podcast we do, I have a full-length video over on the YouTube channel, so search DeaconLive, all one word, and then podcast, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. So here we go. Starting off the show with a battle. I don't know why I sound country. And these two guys are just going at it. So I'm going to switch screens here, go to camera 4, and we can see this in real time and all be friends. Here we go. Oh, he's way on him right in the head. He's got him in a headlock. The girl, stop.
We now have a fight on board the vessel, and we're going to have two drunk people in the water.
Somebody's getting ready to get down.
They don't have any PFDs on. They were visible.
PFDs, personal flotation device? All right, there you go. So the girls are trying to get involved. Don't do that, girls. You're going to catch a black eye. Still fighting.
Hey, you guys, the police and the Coast Guard have been called.
Okay, thanks. They lean on the throttle and the boat takes off a little bit.
Be trying to call you. Yeah, we got a situation here that needs a law enforcement vessel.
So there's two guys on this vessel that are big old fat tubby guys, and then this mediocre size guy, and one of the fat guys is battling the mediocre guy. And every time they go to one side of the boat, the whole boat lifts to one side, and so the girls have to go opposite to balance it out, and then they fight across the back, and so on and so forth. So let's continue this.
They're out of control.
They're out of control.
On the boat. At the controls of the boat.
Ooh, punched him right in the fucking, decked him. Okay, here we go. Fired up. Let's get out of here. Oh, he broke the antenna off and started whipping the guy. And now this antenna is a 6-foot-long boat antenna, and he's whipped it off. Now this boat has no canopy or anything. It's just an open top, kind of like a deck boat, center console, and they're both like fighting over the console at each other. And the guy
standing by.
Standing by. I got this. Got it all on video.
They're hitting.
So there's a part 2 to this, and I guess someone ran up next to him and caught up to him. I guess the fight's over now. Maybe they're still jawing a little bit.
Console approximately 17 to 18 feet long.
17, 18 feet.
5 or 6 persons on board.
So they're trying to catch up to him. Let's fast forward a little bit here. I know it's just all waves. The boat filming them's trying to catch up to him. Now they're cruising off. So their cool heads have prevailed, I guess. So now they're trying, whatever they were fighting about, I don't know. The fattest guy's trying to take off, get away from everybody. Looks like they're still arguing, throwing shit each other on the boat, whatever they got in the boat down below. It's not a cabin, but just whatever around their feet. So now the boat gets up right next to the side of them and filming them, trying to get all their faces. Hey, fucking pay attention, man. They're filming us. And the girl on the front of the boat's like, fuck you filming us. Everyone's sitting down, everyone's behaving, nothing's going on. Fuck you, what you looking at? Fuck. The girl on the front of the boat, they all get in their positions. The skinny guy's on the back of the boat. Now he's wanting to fight the guy driving by on the boat, filming him. He's leaning over the edge, yelling at him. You can't hear him. Oh, he's throwing shit at him. Oh, my God. Jesus Christ. People, you're on the water. You're in a boat. I'm on a boat. And you're sitting here acting like fucking children. Now, the average age on that boat probably looked about anywhere from mid-20s. You know, no one looked like a full-grown adult. And, of course, we know you don't become a full-grown adult unless you hit your 30s. Even then, some of them are debatable out there. But they were just fighting on the water. What are you fighting about? Especially on a boat that small. Where are you going to sit? Maybe stop looking at my girlfriend's tits? Or, you know, what are they fighting about? They were young kids, I don't know if they were drunk or not. You couldn't tell. But I'm sure alcohol had something to do with it. And it was a bright day. It wasn't like the end of the day or anything. It wasn't like they were on a sandbar, you know, and everyone's, hey, stop looking at my, and, you know, normally boats get in fights with other boats. Not the people that you're going out on the boat with. They don't get in a fight with each other. Obviously, they had some bad beat before they even left the shore. So there you go. That happened in Maryland. You might see it on your TikTok channel. You might find out later on this week what actually happened. 3 couples on a boat in Maryland fighting. All right, when we come back, you ever stayed at Airbnb before and they had the AC thermostat locked up? Well, this person came up with a hack to get around that locked up thermostat. So stick around. We'll talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You can join the podcast. The way you can do that, you can be podcast famous. We'd love to hear from you. The way you can do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the very top of the page says Be Heard. If you've got a microphone on your device, your tablet, wherever you can record your voice, you can be anonymous if you want. Hit that. It says record, listen back, and then send. It does want an email address to make sure that you're not a robot. It wants to make sure that you are a human. And the only way you can do that is make sure that you have an email address. I know sometimes you get spam emails. Well, what's the difference, Deacon? Well, shut up. Just let me know. Excuse me. And you can ask me any of the shows that we've been doing here. Coming up on 12 years. Next year, of course, the beginning of the year will be 12 years of us doing this show. So we'd love to hear from you. You can go back through all the different shows and stuff. Or if you just want to ask me anything, you can do that as well. Just go over to prophetradio.com. At the top of the page says Be Heard. Leave a message and we'll play your voice right alongside of us here in the studio. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, in a little town we like to call Marshville. Now, speaking of being on boats, Carnival Cruise Lines. I've been on 1, maybe 2 Carnival cruise ships out of Florida Port Canaveral. Yep, that's where I went out of. And at the time, I was young. I was real young. I was like 18. Yeah, I didn't know any different. Oh, I'm on a boat now. I can drink at 18. But Carnival has gotten their shit together somewhat. They were having all these, I don't want to say ethnic, but there's a certain group of people, when they lower the rates of a Carnival cruise ship, a certain group of people get on there, and they're just having a good time. I never heard of anyone really getting in any fights and never really getting into trouble or anything, but some people just didn't like the way they handled themselves on a cruise ship. So they started making some rules and changing the way they do things, and all of a sudden, Carnival cruise ships went out on sea almost completely empty. But this young lady right here, she was a cheerleader, 18-year-old cheerleader, was found dead on the recent Carnival cruise ship. And we'll switch over to camera 4 because there is a news article. And don't forget, you can watch this in real time over on YouTube as we're talking about here on the show. So here we go. Fox and Friends, we're going to talk about the details about a teen found on the Carnival cruise was stuffed under a bed. So here we go.
Details about the mysterious death of a high school cheerleader on a Carnival cruise, claiming her body was found wrapped in a blanket and stuffed under a bed on the ship. Todd Pyro has more. Todd.
Tell us, Todd.
Sources tell the Daily Mail that a housekeeper made the discovery while cleaning a cabin, finding 18-year-old Anna Kepner's body wrapped in a blanket, covered with life jackets, and hidden under a bed. Officials say Kepner was vacationing with her family when she was declared dead in international waters, according to the new report.
Get to cleaning.
So there was a commercial there. So let's go back to me now. So she was wrapped in a blanket and stuffed underneath the bed. I didn't think you could stuff things underneath the bed. Can you? because they usually have that block there. So let's go back to the story. So here we go.
Authorities were searching for the Florida teen when the housekeeper made the discovery. This all happening on the morning of November 7th around 11 a.m. Sources say that Kepner had complained of not feeling well the night before and went back to her cabin after dinner. But when her family went to breakfast the next morning, there was no sign of her. The day after her body was...
You didn't do night checks on her? Hey, honey, we're going to bed. Are you okay? You didn't do night checks on her? Check on your own kid? You haven't seen her since whenever she went to her room?
Found Carnival brought the cruise ship back to the port of Miami. The new developments come as Anna's father...
It's the Carnival Horizon is the name of the ship that she was on.
The FBI is not sharing anything about her death, claiming he's still waiting for answers. Her family says Kepner was a straight-A student attending a Christian school with the goal of becoming a police officer. Carnival Cruise Lines releasing a statement saying, quote, "Our focus is on supporting the family of our guest and cooperating with the FBI during their investigation."
God, they've got their plate full over there at Carnival Cruise Line. If you got stock, it's got to be dropping. It's got to be dropping over there at Carnival Cruise Line or whoever owns the ships and stuff. God, can you imagine that? Emma, I'm not feeling well. Okay, honey, go lay down, go do something. But she didn't wrap herself in the blanket. She didn't stuff herself under a bed. And like I said, maybe the beds is one of those fold out off the wall. You fold. I've been in a cabin where they fold off the wall, and you fold it up so you can have more room in the cabin. And they have life preservers underneath it or smashed around her to kind of hide her, I guess. So there's more to that story. So we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll let you know any updates that we can find. Now, my wife, my wife and I have gone to. Together, I think, I say together, of course together, but I mean, we go to hotels, we go to all this stuff. I think between the two of us, I've stayed in one Airbnb with her, but when she does horse shows and stuff, she stays at Airbnbs all the time. Sometimes she's like, oh, this is kind of sketchy, and some were like, oh, this is really, really nice. Now, a lot of times, I like the room absolutely freezing. So as soon as I go into any hotel, no matter where I'm at, that AC's going down. I'm not fucking paying for the bill. That AC's going down to whatever the lowest is. If it says 60 and then goes to low, it's going on the low thermostat. But a lot of Airbnbs are locking up, doing those lock boxes like they did at schools, like high schools and businesses will put that plastic shield around it so you can't do anything about it. Well, this innovative hack, is it really innovative? This gentleman's video, is showing how to bypass the thermostat lockbox system in his Airbnb is making the rounds right now. Locked thermostats have become a growing complaint among Airbnb travelers frustrated with hosts trying to save on their utilities, but one guest in Wisconsin may have found the most creative workaround yet. This is not really creative, but I'll go with it. After realizing his his Kadai rental felt colder than the thermostat reading inside the plastic lockbox, the guest took a bag of frozen okra and manipulated the temperature sensor and forced the heat to kick on. In his video, he demonstrates quickly spread across TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and X, where viewers are praised by the hack and swap their own stories and solutions about restricting temperature controls. I remember there was a lockbox at a business that I worked at, and they wouldn't touch it. And I take a lighter because it was always hot in the building. I take a lighter and go up underneath that thing. And years and years and years of doing that, not me, but everyone else, you could see the plastic on the bottom was melting because they have the vents and stuff so it can read the air temperature inside. This video, nearly 100,000 views on TikTok, was shared by the account Flakosha Shin on November 3rd, 2025. The Airbnb guest said, despite the really, really nice house and the really cool host, the lockbox and heat which kept the energy cost down, was locked up. A clip of the thermostat showed the reading was at 71 inside the box, but he explained that the house was old and the windows leaked, so the house stayed cold no matter what. So let's see his little video here. All right, hold on, darling. We'll get you. Unmute you. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube, and you can see this in real time as we're talking about here on the show. Sorry, little guy. So here we go. Camera 4. We can see his miraculous hack on how to get this thing to work. So here we go.
Airbnb. And Airbnb host, really nice house, really cool host, has a lockbox.
Kudai am I saying that right? CU, what did it say? This is in Wisconsin. CU, I want everyone to know this. So, CUDAHY. Kind of a unique name, but okay, I'll go with it. It's probably Native American or something. So here we go.
On the heat, so we don't like ruin the energy bill, whatever it is that the situation they have going on. So the house stays cold. It says 71, but all the windows leak. All of them. Like if you stand next to a window, a door, anything, they all leak because it's an old house. Really nice house.
Got it.
Against the Airbnb.
So he's focused on the thermostat. If you're not watching this over on YouTube, he's focused on the thermostat. And he's got a big bag of frozen okra just sitting on top of the lockbox that's surrounding the thermostat.
And then I remembered I've watched a lot of movies and
Yeah.
I've seen this scenario before. And what it is the lockbox is reading a certain temp.
Right.
That's regulating the whole house. So I then went and grabbed frozen stuff.
Oh, he's got frozen cookie dough up there too.
And put it on. It's been 6 minutes, 7 minutes since I did this, and it's already gone down. It said it was reading 72. Now it's reading 71.
Good
I
job.
needed the lockbox itself to go under 71, so the heat turns on, because we're all freezing. I don't want to wear a jacket inside, and I don't want to deal with Airbnb, because it actually worked.
Oh, there goes 67 now. He's showing it.
Box to read 67 degrees. The heat came on. The house is actually warm now, so for the rest of this month, I damn near got to do this at night before we go to bed, right when we come home after school.
Flacco Sean Shin, that's his name.
71 stuff ain't going. It's cold.
So there you go. Have you done anything like that? Have you tricked the lockbox or done anything as far as like your Airbnb? It doesn't have to be the temperature. It doesn't have to be the thermostat or anything like that. Have you done that? We'd love to hear from you. And the way you can do that is go to profitradio.com. Tell us your story and we'll play it on the air. When we come back, in-skin games. I guess Fortnite's a big thing out there. I don't know. Have you heard about it? It's not going anywhere. But in the game, you can buy like skins, you can buy like clothing and stuff for your character. Well, this couple right here was buying stuff left and right, and they couldn't figure out where all their money was going. And then they sat down with an accountant and they go, well, here's your problem right here. And I'll dive into what this guy actually spent on in-game skins when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us over on Facebook. The way you do that is just search Deacon Live, all one word, over on Facebook. And the reason why you're going to do that is because all the videos and pictures and stuff, we will share it with you. Share it now over there on our Facebook page so you can read the articles, see the articles, and show your friends. No, look, really, this is what really happened. Here's the people fighting on the boat. And it breaks up the monotony on all your like Facebook feeds and stuff. You're tired of looking at your ex-girlfriend's kids and her husband and stuff and all the other things that go on on your Facebook feed. So you can do that. Sign us up or sign yourself up. Like it. What do they do? Is it a like, follow, something on Facebook? I'm so out of touch. It's so stupid. They change it every fucking week. But anyways, go over to Facebook. Make sure you follow us over there and you can see all these stories. I'll post a couple up there as well. Now, ATM jackpotting is a new slang term that of course, media has come up with, not the actual people that are doing it. I guess I got to go ahead and pull these articles up while I'm sitting here talking about it. At one time, they were grabbing ATMs and yanking them out of fucking buildings. So then they got smart and they said, okay, we're going to put the ATMs further in the back of the store. And then they just basically just rammed the cars in there and grabbed them out that way. So with technology and everything that's going on today, especially AI, I don't know if AI has anything to do with it, but I guarantee you it's got something to do with it, the way things are going. This article says, ATM jackpotting crime wave grows after thieves walk away with hundreds and thousands of dollars. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Authorities are researching a group of suspects after the police say they walked away with $175,000 from a Virginia ATM in a rising crime trend named jackpotting. ATM jackpotting. Jackpotting is defined as a cyber physical crime in which thieves gain access to the ATM by installing malware or physical black box device within the system, according to the Fairfax Police Department. Criminals will then access the machine either through a physical... Oh, I gotta get rid of this guy. Go away. Through a through physical connection or remotely override the installed security system, causing the ATM to rapidly dispense large amounts of cash on demand. Kind of like in the movies. It's raining. Yeah, hell yeah, free money. The crime spree began on October 3rd when an unknowing man approached an Apple Federal Credit Union drive-through ATM in Fair Oaks, a suburban located just outside of Fairfax, around 10:20 p.m. The police say the individual used a key to access the ATM, though authorities do not know what actions were taken once the machine was open. How about just take the money right out of the machine right then and there? Because it's sometimes stacked up inside those small little ATMs. Then around 12:30 a.m. the following day, the same individual reportedly arrived at the ATM while driving a blue Jeep and opened the same ATM again, according to police. The surveillance video captured the suspect returning to the ATM 45 minutes later in the same vehicle with a second individual, police said. The pair spent about 15 minutes accessing the machine as they filmed their actions on their phone. Okay, so I guess they're making a TikTok hack. Hey, you guys want free money? Hey, it's Joey Bomboli here. I'm doing an ATM hack. And for all you guys out there, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll show you how to get lots of money. By 2 a.m., the unmasked suspect in the same Jeep arrived at the ATM and began to withdraw cash without inserting a card or touching the machine, all while holding his phone near the device, according to authorities. The individual briefly left briefly and then returned 9 minutes later and stayed until about 2:44 a.m. as the individuals continue to withdraw money. The Fairfax Police Department is now asking for the public's help to identify the suspects who allegedly made off with $175,000 in cash from the ATM. The incident is not the first to make national headlines in recent years. In 2024, 6 Venezuelan nationals, all right? You want to talk about Border Patrol? Here you go right here. 6 Venezuelan nationals were indicted in federal court after prosecutors said they stole over $400,000 in cash from 4 separate ATMs throughout New York, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Okay, no. They want health care. They want all that stuff. These Venezuelan nationals. No. Because they have no money over there in Venezuela. Their money's shit. And they come over here and they're like, oh, America, free money. Similarities, authorities in Georgia asked the public's help to search for 2 suspects, one in connection with jackpotting scheme targeting 2 standalone ATMs in separate gas stations last year. The suspects allegedly made off with thousands of dollars in profits after using a malware trick and tricked the machine's security system. Fairfax Police Department did not immediately respond to News Fox Digital request for comment. Of course, no. You don't want to admit that you did anything wrong. But there you go. You mean, first of all, I don't know how they're doing it. Not that I wish I knew, but I mean, of course, they're not going to tell you because then everyone would be doing, hey, look, free money. Yay, I'm in New York City. Mandani or whatever his name is. It's free money. It's true. But there's got to be something. It's got to be some kind of malware, some kind of radio frequency signal where you put it up and you go, and like the old dial-up that the internet had, and you play this sound and the ATM goes, right away, sir, here's all your money, thank you for shopping with us, or whatever the ATM says. So there you go, ATM jackpotting. Now this couple right here is trying to manage their financials, excuse me, and couldn't figure out where all their money was going. Casey, 29, and Andre, 33, from Oklahoma, earn about $4,600 a month after taxes and bring in an extra $900 from a roommate. Despite making over $5,500 a month, they spent almost double that and now sit on more than $168,000 in debt. Where did my money go? Their financial situation was featured on a recent episode of Caleb Hammer's Financial Audit YouTube series. Hammer gave them the hard truth. This is some of the most ridiculous spending I've ever seen on the show, he says. Continuing, incredibly, Andre has racked up over $92,000 in in-game skins. I gotta get the one that looks like Michael Jackson. That's the only way people are gonna think I'm cool. I gotta get the one that looks like Rambo. I gotta get the one that looks like The Simpsons. The only way I'm gonna find out that I'm cool. Andre, go outside and touch some fucking grass. Rob an ATM or something. These digital purchases are cosmetic items that change the appearance of characters or items in the video games, but they don't affect the gameplay. Mostly don't offer any real-world value at all. He also spent heavily on electronics, gaming consoles, and accessories. Among them, a Steam Deck for his videoing. You know, Steam Deck is kind of what we use here in the studio. If you're watching us here in the YouTube video, it bounces in between cameras, so he's got something like that. They're not too expensive. Multiple Nintendo, PlayStation, and Xbox consoles, a California King mattress, phones, watches, and even $1,200 gaming laptop to design maps for the tabletop role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. Sure, every kid needs that. Every adult needs that too. This is absolutely insane, Hammer says, the host of the show. This is every debt that has ever existed. I don't know what that means, but okay, I'll go with it. When Hammer asked him why they were living paycheck to paycheck, Andre answered it is because she spends a lot of money, adding to they also spend a lot of money on her. So Casey, this is her problem. Casey admits a long history of poor money management and outright addiction to spending. She says, I like to go big or go home. Before meeting Andre, she frequently turned to payday loans to fund her lifestyle, often recycling payday loans. How do you recycle that? I guess we're going to find out. In other words, she constantly was getting new loans just to pay off the old ones. Oh, so it's like a Ponzi scheme she's doing. The couple only recently opened a joint bank account, and Casey now receives spending allowances and trying to curb her impulses, but that hasn't solved the problem. Their combined total monthly payments, including the $1,300 car loan at 12% interest, plus the overdue student loans, collection account, and dozens of buy now, pay later balances, now outpace their income. Casey has several collection accounts, including one for over $3,000 from Verizon, others from Capital One, GameStop, JCPenney's. They still around, doing them a favor, keeping them in the headlines here. Hammer, the host of the show, pointed out their spending has outpaced their earnings by thousands and thousands of dollars each month. Andre's health habits aren't helping either. He smokes multiple energy drinks, diet sodas daily, and has been smoking since the age of 13. Well, something's going to kill you. Might as well get it done early, right? You're about to be a father of 3 now, he says, the host of the show. You don't want to stick around. You're in your 30s. You're obese and morbidly potent, potentially. I don't know what he's talking about there. Anyways, even with the baby due, Casey shows little motivations of change. I really want to put an effort into it, she says. And so there you go. If you got student loans or first of all, they were doomed from the start. You got to find out. Even though, you know, you love someone and you like someone or you find interest in them, when you find out they just can't manage money or do things that you're like going, you know, you can't live this lifestyle. You're going to die. We're going to go broke. We're not going to do anything like that. Those are the type of things that you need to find out while you're dating. This is why you date. You know, hey, can I have $100? Why? Oh, I got to buy some energy drinks and smokes. I'll $100? Yeah, just $100. Okay, here you go. And then 3 days later, can I have another $100? What happened to another $100? You have to police yourself. You have to regulate yourself. And obviously, Casey and Andre, I wish them luck on their 3rd child. I think it's 3rd. Maybe she had 2 more and he's going to be daddy number 3. Anyways, when we come back, did you know Florida, the state, isn't real? That's what they say. Florida is not real. At least this one girl says. And we're going to find out if God is real. Smartest man on the earth says he is or isn't. And I'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, all the musical artists that you hear during the breaks and stuff are all independent artists, and we give them a platform to showcase their music, and we'd love for you to show them some love and support. And the way you can hear the full-length songs is go over to Spotify. We have our own playlist over there called Music Heard on Deacon Live. And you can hear all the different musical artists that we've had here wrapping up 2025. There's over 115 over there. So make sure you show them some love and support as well. And it's great for the holidays. If you just want some extra music outside of listening to, you know, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane. You can play this mix. It's got, like I said, 115 different artists from rap to country to hardcore to metal to just about everything out there. And every single artist is very talented and very instrumental to the success of the DeaconLive program and broadcast all at the same time. So show them some love, and they get some shekels for every time you listen to a song over on Spotify. Now, I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida. I've been there all my life, moved up to here to Marshville, which is a small little town just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. We've been in the North Carolina area for probably 12 years now, 13 years now. I lost track. But I was born and raised in Florida. And you know what? The things that we do in Florida, it's just second nature. We've always done it. When hurricanes come through, we used to just put tape on the windows because that'll hold, that type stuff. And then you got those lazy people out there that leave the tape on the window and the sun melts it on there. And then all of a sudden you got just this sticky, gooey mess on your windows for a long time. And we just put an X. That's all we did. Now they got smart enough and we put plywood up there. But still, it's not gonna help. But anyways, this girl right here swears up and down that the state of Florida is not real. If you know, you know. Florida is the most glorious sun-drenched vacation land. It's weird and chaotic, semi-lawless feeling place dangling off the edge of America. And for Maddie at Maddie.1414, we're going to watch her video, who lives in Tampa, that's exactly why she swears that Florida isn't even a real place. In the TikTok video that's been watched over 689,000 times, Maddie spots one of the quirkiest, more counterintuitive things about the life in Florida, and shockingly has nothing to do with alligators or the Bright Line Railroad. It's all about the drive-through drinks. Now, before I continue, I just want to say, yes, you can do a drive-through grocery store or like a convenience store and buy beer from your car. They usually turn like an old car wash, that you drive your car through, that's not doing well, into one of these stores. And you have to physically sit in your car and go, yeah, give me a case of Bud Light. Let me get a couple smokes, some Slim Jims, a bag of chips, some Funyuns, and Monster Energy drink. And they bag it up for you and throw it. Now, you do pay a premium price. Don't get me wrong. It's not like, you're going down to Aldi or anything like that. But you do pay a premium price for it. So as the article continues, Florida is not a real state, she says. This is Maddie. The intro to her video, she is going hard and promises to back up her claim with evidence. The video then cuts to her ordering at a drive-thru. Can I get one espresso martini, she says. The voice replies, sure thing. She pulls around the window, but while waiting, she speaks directly to the camera and says, okay, if you know me, you know me. And I always say that Florida isn't a real state because you can do things here that you shouldn't be able to do legally in other places. Then she introduces the Blend Coffee and Cocktails store, restaurant, whatever it is, where she places the order, but she says they also have great coffee here. Then the kicker is you can also get mixed drinks there and take them to go. So let's see what her video says. Let's go back to Maddie.1414 over on TikTok. All right, let me pass here. I'm going to collect 200. Here we go. Searching. Here's her video. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, our full-length podcast is available over on YouTube. You can see this in real time as we're talking about it here on the show. We'll switch to camera 4. Here she goes. This is Maddie. All right, hold on. Here we go.
Show you why.
Let me get started for you.
Could I just get one espresso martini?
Yeah, sure thing. That's it?
Yes, please.
You can go ahead and pull up the window.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, if you know me, you know that I always say that Florida is not a real state because
Now, if you're watching this girl looks like a typical Florida girl. When I say a typical Florida girl, she's a white girl. She's got a nice little tan. She's got the freckles on her nose and on her cheeks. She's got long, dirty blonde hair and blue eyes and barely any makeup. And she's got like avocado-shaped head or something like that. But she looks, if you say this girl is from Florida, you go, yep, that's what they look like. So here she goes.
You can do things here that you shouldn't legally be able to do and that you can't do anywhere else. They have a coffee shop called the Blend Coffee and Cocktails. This is what it looks like. I've been so many times. It's so good. Their coffee is so good.
You might have a problem, girl, if you've been so many times.
You can literally get cocktails there. You can get mixed drinks. You can get seltzers. I think they have beer, wine. I don't even know. I've gotten mimosas, espresso martinis, but today we're going to go through the drive-thru and we're going to get an espresso martini and we're going to leave with it because I want to.
Sure. She's driving up.
I just got here.
Thanks for choosing the Blend. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Thanks.
Good. Let me get started for you.
Could I just get one espresso martini?
Yeah, sure thing. That's it?
Yes, please.
Alright.
I gotta go to work.
Thank you.
Can I just see your ID?
Yes.
Here's your ID. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you too.
Now, it doesn't come in a martini glass. It comes in like a coffee cup, like you would get from Starbucks, and it's got the chocolate swirl and everything on the side of the glass and everything.
Run over the curve. She's so beautiful. Yeah,
Look at that.
Give me that.
Now, it's a short cup. It's kind of like a parfait cup. That's how big it is, if you know what that is. First of all, what's a parfait, Deacon? Look that up, too.
Obviously, it's like covered up or whatever so that you don't like drink it on the road. Okay, as you guys can see, we got the espresso martini in our little...
And what she was saying is it's got a plastic lid on the top, and it's got 2 stickers over the top of it. So you can have it in your car, and technically, I guess that's sealed. Like the cop goes, you got an open container. No, it's got stickers on it. I'm going to have to try that next time. You got an open beer in your car. No, I got a DeaconLive sticker right over the top of it. I'm good, officer. All right. Sorry, you got me. There you go.
Blend cup. I'm not going to drink it now because we are on the road, but... I'll do a taste test when I get home.
Okay.
You know, you can go through the drive-thru and literally get a cocktail to go. Just saying. This is why I love that Florida is a fake state, because you shouldn't be able to do this, and I really actually just did this. Like, they genuinely just let me go through the drive-thru, ID'd me, and gave me a beverage, and then I left. So, yeah. Florida is not...
Okay, got it. Thank you, dear. Thank you, Maggie. Maggie? No, Maddie. Sorry, with 2 Ds. Double Ds. So let me give you a little background on Florida about the driving thing. There are restaurants and stores and nightclubs that have what they call a package law. A lot of nightclubs get around this. They'll have a nightclub in the back and a package store up front. So there's physically a door that separates the two. You can buy a 6-pack of beer at the end of the night and take it home with you, as long as they're all capped. They have the caps and stuff like that. So it's called a packaging license. But what Maddie is talking about here is a result of what happened during COVID. So let me see right here. WFLA confirms that what some commenters are saying, namely the drive-through to-go drinks, have been legal since 2021. According to that article, Florida Senate Bill number 148 made to-go alcohol sales permanent under certain circumstances, end quotes. The circumstances aren't another global meltdown, but another way to take it to a second location. Basically, your cocktail needs to be in a container that is sealed tight by the restaurant. The drink should have a dated receipt, and it needs to be in a clear container so any tampering is visible. There is also rules about placing alcohol that is not sealed container, like the bottle that you scored at whatever steakhouse. It should not be easily accessible. Think locked in the trunk or glove compartment. All right. And should be accompanied by food. Now, the original goal of the drive-through to-go drinks rule was put in place during the pandemic to help struggling restaurants stay afloat. It was an executive order by Ron DeSantis. Then, in the fall of 2020, Senator Jeff Brandes and Senator Jennifer Bradley each proposed a bill that would make the change permanent. It passed on July 1st of 2021. In a statement, Bradley, now is the time for outdated restrictions. We need to allow small businesses to use every tool in their toolbox. To be a long year, Floridian deserves a Cosmo to go. All right, so there you go. If you feel like this is the most Florida thing, in 2024, the article of the bottlepost.com says otherwise. 30 states currently allow for some form of drive-through liquor sales. So Maddie's out there doing God's work and getting the drinks for us. Now, I was tempted not to read this article because we try not to get too religious here, even though I spout off a couple things, but we don't sit here and harp on it. The reason why I'm worried about this is because this is the smartest man in the world. He is. Studies have shown he's the smartest man in the world. And there's a lot of big words in here. And you know me and big words. I don't do very well because I am nowhere near the smartest man. I'm the smartest man in this room because I'm the only one here. But me and you and I will get through this article and find out what this smartest man in the world says about whether there is a God and does he exist. So Chris Langan is an American... See, I already messed up already. I'm going to take this as slow as possible. Chris Landon is an American intellectual frequency described as the smartest man in the world, has weighed on one of humanity's oldest questions, does God exist? Logan's IQ has been reported as falling somewhere between 190 and 210. 210. Placing him above the estimated scores of Albert Einstein and Stephen Hawking. But rather than working with major research industries or tech companies, Landon leads a quiet life as a horse rancher while developing theories that attempt to explain the nature of the existence itself. So Landon is known best for his cognitive theoretic model of the universe, sweeping physical, philosophical, and mathematical framework, aiming to explain how the consciousness and reality relate to one another. Oh God, it's getting deep. The theory argues that the universe and the mind are interwoven as a self-processed, self-defining structure, and the idea that, while controversial and unproven, has attracted intrigue for those interested in the metaphysics and the theoretical physiology of it. During the conversation on CTMU radio, Langan discusses several aspects of his work, including his views on what happens after death, but one moment that captured a particular attention was his response to a direct question about, does God exist? Here's the video here. I'm not going to play the whole thing because my brain's going to explode already. So, unlike many prominent scientists who have identified as atheists, Langland answers was unambiguous. When I asked if God is real, he replied, yes, reality has an identity. The identity is that which something is existing. Next paragraph. I'm taking it slow for all you people out there. He added that referring to reality, in quotes, itself is already an act of naming an identity, one that, in his framework, aligns with how many religions describe God, explaining how the CTMU applies to the question. Langan said the theory builds on mathematical structure for reality, from the purpose and the properties of naturally emerge once you've built a preliminary, for whatever reason I can't say that word, probably because I'm not as smart, preliminary framework. You should start deducing the properties of its identity, and you'll find out that those properties match those of God, as described in most of the world's most religions that are out there. According to Langan, God should not necessarily be thought as a figure watching us from the heavens, but rather a foundation identity of existence, the underlying structure that generates the universe and everything within it. God almighty, he's so smart. Is he? I think he's just spitting out shit. The discussion about God is not only metaphysical topic, Langland said. He addressed it publicly. In an earlier appearances on whatever podcast, he shared his interpretation of what happens after death. According to Langan, death marks the end of a person's relationship with their physical body, but not the end of their consciousness. When they are retracted from this reality, you go back up toward the origin of reality. All right, suggested that an individual could be provided with a different kind of terminal body, in quotes, that allows you to continue to exist. He also proposed an idea that reincarnations may be metastimulation simultaneously. Oh, that's a good one for you guys out there. Meaning that if a person experiences multiple lifetimes, they may unfold all at once in a non-physical domain. In his view, what lies beyond death is not an afterlife in the traditional religious sense, but a return to a deeper reality from which your consciousness originates. One more paragraph. Here we go. Langley's theories remain speculative, but his willingness to tackle the existing existential questions is usually a personal background. He continues to draw fascinations from those curious about the boundaries of science, physiology, and belief. So there you go. Did he tell me anything that I didn't know? I think I'm twice as dumb now after that. So I guess what he's saying is, your mind, your body, you exist here in this physical form, and then, oh, is that Scientology? Then when your brain goes to maybe someone's right. Maybe L. Ron Hubbard was right. I don't have enough money to join that church, but maybe there's something behind that. The L. Ron Hubbard and the alien that lands here and says, your mind and body are separate and stuff, and this is how your cretins and levels and all that. I don't know. So there you go. Does he exist? Not in the sense that we think of, the white bearded man up there with a staff and sending people to hell and stuff. That'd be interesting too. If you're a bad person going to hell and all that, or we just all end up at the same place. Hey, Charlie, how are you? Mr. Manson, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while type deal. All right, when we come back, how does mushrooms affect your age? This guy right here was dosing them to make himself younger. And he's back in the news again. The biotech hacker is in the news doing mushrooms and what it did to his penis. We'll get into that as well. So stick around. You listen to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Good to go. You ready? Let's try this again. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Don't forget, we'd love to hear from you. You can be podcast famous. The way you can do that is go over to prophetradio.com, proud sponsors of Deacon Live and all the other fine programming that comes out of the studio. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us. We broadcast every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just outside of Charlotte, North Carolina, a little town we like to call Marshville. Your voice can be heard right alongside of us. You can be anonymous if you want. You can ask us anything. Over the last, coming up on 12 years of shows that we've been doing here, if you can want to ask me something personally, that's fine. I will answer them right here on the air. Just get your voice in. Comes to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Now, we are taking a couple weeks off for the Thanksgiving break and some things that we need to do. I'm upgrading some of the servers here in the studio, so we're going to take a couple weeks off to get all that prepared and stuff. I don't want to rush into it or do anything like that. So we're going to take, this is our last show for November. We'll come back, I think, the second week of December, and we'll continue banging out shows and getting you guys involved in everything that we do, and hopefully have a better product, a better streaming service for you. Listening to the show and a better experience as well. So, bear with us as we go through all that. Now, born and raised in Orlando, Florida, living up here in North Carolina. I've never heard of anything like this before, no matter what, in between all those states that I lived in, those two states. That's the only two states I've been living in. But right now, motorists are being advised to put used tea bags in their vehicles this month as temperatures are starting to drop. Now, here in North Carolina, the nights are about 48 degrees. The days are about 66 degrees, fluctuating anywhere from, 4 or 5 degrees either way. But I've never heard of putting used tea bags in your car as the temperatures drop. So let's find out why these morons are teabagging their car. In the upcoming frost conditions means drivers will likely find themselves a layer of condensation on their car windows, as cold weather typically exacerbates the issue. Condensation occurs when how to write an article 500 words or less. Condensation occurs when warm, moist air inside the car comes in contact with cold glass surface, causing water vapor to condense and form droplets. This tends to be more noticeable in the winter times or during extreme cold weather spells. Thank you very much for the definition. I'm a fucking retard. The colder external temperatures are more significant. The temperature drops and the warm air hits the glass, resulting in fogging. Clearing condensation and fog can take time, but which can be quite annoying for the morning commute. But there's a simple solution to combat this problem. All you need to do is get some used tea bags, and it comes after we reveal drivers are using an easy 4-button combo to defrost their car windshields faster. Okay. Used tea bags, especially those from the black or green tea, are highly effective in reducing condensation and dampness inside the windows because the tea leaves contain a natural absorbent substances. Continue reading. To address this issue, the condensation in your car especially suggested positioning the tea bags in small containers of loose tea throughout the vehicle's interior, such as the dashboard or within door compartments. This method can decrease the likelihood of condensation developing on windshields and will help motorists steer clear of the potential fines. What kind of fines are you getting for condensation on your thing? Ben Pitcher, motorist specialist at the DPF Experts, describes tea bags as an excellent remedy for the challenge since it's a natural absorbent for moisture, costing little and typically already available in your kitchen cabinet. But it says used tea bags. Used tea bags are already... Come on, you can't do that. I got what you're doing there. Used tea bags have already gotten through. Anyways, so let's find out what he's doing. He states, the tea bags, especially black or green tea, is a natural moisture absorbent. Placing them on your car can help reduce the condensation, especially in the colder months. Though they aren't as powerful as the professional dehumidifiers, they are cheap, eco-friendly, and the solution of tackling minor dampness. Both green tea and black tea have ability to soak up moisture and accumulates when the temperature gets difference between the outside and the inside of your vehicle. As a bonus benefit, they can also freshen up your interior car smell. For all you nasty people out there spilling your martinis in there. The tea bag works as an absorbent to eliminate unwanted odors, making your vehicle smell more like tea and coffee for minimum effort that's required. So I've heard this, and this is true. We had a dog. We had several dogs, but one of the dogs accidentally peed on the floor in the back of the car. And you know, you can vacuum scrub, and you still get a little bit of that urine odor. If you put coffee like under the back seat or something like that, and maybe turn your car on, let it run for a little bit, like a half hour, not a half hour, but I'm just, whatever you feel comfortable leaving your car unattended running, it'll actually pull that smell, because it's running through your filter and everything, that smell out of your car. And it smells like coffee for maybe 24 hours, but that smell is eliminated. So there you go. They're saying putting tea bags in your car to draw in moisture. It says use tea bags, though. I don't know of any dry used tea bags. Normally they're pretty much done, right? They've already absorbed the hot liquid or the cold liquid or whatever you make your tea. They're Piper. Just trying to think of an English name. I would go with dry tea bags. That's just my opinion. Now, this gentleman right here, this biohacker, his name's Brian Johnson. He's been in the news before. He's done stuff with inserting blood, like what all the what's the politicians and the people outside the politicians were saying. Oh, they're drinking baby blood and stuff like that to stay young and to stay incredible. And I kind of thought about that for a minute, because when Nancy Pelosi says, "I'm retiring," I'm 85 years old. I'm retiring from politics. I'm like, 85? Think of how many people that are in the Congress right now. I'm getting a side note here. Think of how many people are in Congress right now. And what's the average lifespan of an adult male, white adult male? 73, 72, something like that. A white female, think higher. You never see anyone dropping dead in office, no matter how old they get. So there's got to be, I know they probably had the best health care, they had the best whatever, and so on and so forth. But you never hear anyone like, representative from Florida, District 11, dropped dead today with a hamburger in his mouth and a tea bag in his hand. You never hear about them dropping dead like you do on the news. Douglas Jones up the road. Yeah, he was 65 and dropped dead of whatever he dropped dead of. He didn't have a hamburger, or he had too many hamburgers or something. Anyways, this biotech guy, Brian Johnson. Now I'm going to open up this article, and it wants to flag it because there's weird shit in the background. So let's see if we can open it up. This is from Unilad. Warning, this article contains discussion of drug use, which some readers may find distressful. All right, let's start there. Brian Johnson had a bunch of tongue-in-cheek moments before revealing how his magical mushroom trip has impacted his erections. Oh, see, it's already doing it. Come back. Are you going to let me play it? I want to play it. I want to read it. I want to play it. I got to read it fast because it throws up a flag there. Let's see. The tech millionaire, also known as a biohacker, wants to live forever and has been attempting multiple experiences to reverse his biological age. I'm reading fast. This has garnered quite a representation on social media, and I'm trying to read as fast as I can. Regularly discuss his success and failures regarding his hopes to achieve his goal. All right, maybe it's going to stay here for a little bit. The co-founder of his business Blueprint, Kate Tolo, took to X on November 9th and said that Brian Johnson, not the AC/DC guy, had taken 5 grams of magic mushrooms. 5 grams is more of what we know is now called a heroic dose, which was coined by the American philosopher Terence McKenna, who was one of the most famous people to try magic mushrooms. By the end of the experiment, damn it, I was almost there. I was hoping something wouldn't flag up here. I'll get it here. Hold on. By the end of the experiments, Johnson said he would be taking a little bit of time to collect his thoughts, and as of November 16th, he shared his conclusion. In a playful comment on his Twitter page, he insisted that the sensitive data that people should not repost and talk about his findings. After the post forcing the user to scroll down, he says, okay, here's the situation. Since the mushroom trip, I've been taking multiple spontaneous erections every day. I've been getting them, something that I haven't experienced since my childhood. The possible reason is why the mushrooms reduce my cognitive inhibitions, increase my parasympathetic tone, and increase brain entropy, leading to a more flexible, youthful nervous system. This week, I measured my nightmare erections and assessed any life change there as well. Remember, nighttime erections are had by men and women every single night, and they are one of the most strongest predictions of overall health. Now, the 2024 study found that there are some notable overlaps between using psychedelic drugs and sexual function. The study was published in the journal Natural by researchers. The journal Natural, that's the name of the journal, Natural, by researchers from the whatever college, and I'm trying to get through this so it doesn't flag me again. Their analysts showed that almost 300 people before and after psychedelic experience revealed, on average, people reported improvements across the range of sexual functions up to 6 months after. These improvements include enjoyment of sex, sexual arousement, sexual satisfaction, attraction to a partner, and their own physical appearances, communication, and their sense of connection. So he says, basically, he's going to do a little bit more research and stuff. And the heroic dose of magic mushrooms is making his nervous system more alive, I guess is what it's saying. Now, I've heard studies and things that have people say I need to take magic mushrooms or I do microdosing to reset myself because it kind of rewires your brain. Your brain kind of you're defragging your brain. If you know what defragging is on a computer, you're kind of doing the same thing with your brain. So Brian Johnson, the biohacker, is saying that, the magic mushrooms, the heroic dose that he's taking is helping his inhibitions relax, rewired his brain, and he's only 48 years old. And I say only 48 years old, but I guess he's getting more childhood, like spontaneous erections. Mr. Johnson, you want to come up here to the board and solve this problem? No, I'm just going to sit in my chair right here, teacher. No, I'm good. I'm good. So there you go. Now, if you've had any experience with magic mushrooms, we'd love to hear from you as well. All right, guys, if you've enjoyed the show, you can follow us over on TikTok. That's Be Podcast Famous over on TikTok. You can follow us on Instagram with the same marquee there. If you have any questions or anything, you can email me at any time at deacon@profitradio.com, or you can leave us a message while you're at profitradio.com. Says be heard at the very top of the page. Your voice message can be heard right alongside of us here in the studio. All right, guys, on that note, I'm going to let you get back to doing what you got to do. My name is the Deacon saying good night and good night.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.
See ya later. Microdosing.